In today's video, I'm going to dive into the pros and cons of living in Pickering, Ontario. Pickering has become a very popular place to buy a home, thanks mostly to its close proximity to Toronto. But of course, you want to know the good and the bad before you make any decisions to move here. So I'm going to go over all of it. If we haven't met yet, my name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham Region real estate agent with almost 20 years experience. I'd love to help you with your move too. All my contact information is included below. Reach out anytime through email, text, or phone call, or connect through my social media pages. And if you're enjoying my videos, please subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the cons. Con number one is the Pickering power plant. The Pickering power plant is located right on the shores of Lake Ontario, and it's quite an eyesore. People often have safety concerns when it comes to nuclear plants as well. I think some of us have this image of Homer Simpson type characters running the show. In reality, the potential risks of living near a power plant are quite low, but this doesn't stop the fact that it comes with a certain stigma or negative perception. At the end of the day, the main concern for most people is likely to be the fact that it's this big, ugly thing right on the water. And maybe you don't want to be staring at it when you're spending a day at the beach. But the waterfront really does have a lot to offer here if you can look past this. And even the power plant comes with its pluses, which I'll discuss when I get to the pros. Con number two is Pickering's lack of a downtown. Throughout the Durham region, you'll find some really cute historic downtown areas. Whitby, Bowmanville, and Newcastle all have them. Oshawa's downtown doesn't have quite the same vibe, but still has some great restaurants and shops and even concert venues. And all these downtowns hold events and festivals. Pickering currently lacks a downtown area that you would actually want to meet up with friends and hang out in. Basically, the area that's considered downtown is where you'll find the town hall and the Pickering Town Center. There's just not much happening here. However, there are exciting plans for a new city center in the works. Pickering City Center is a 55-acre redevelopment coming to downtown Pickering. This community will be built around the Pickering Town Center and will be a high-density, mixed-use community space. It's going to include residential, retail, restaurants, office, and green space. The City Center condo's first phase, which includes 4 buildings, are projected to have a 2026 occupancy, but there are a total of 10 condo buildings to be built over the next decade. That will include over 6,000 residences. The proposed facilities and amenities for the city center include a new library and community center, a performing arts center, an expanded city hall, new public square, parkland, and connected green spaces, which will offer gathering opportunities and possible event space and community space for things like festivals. The City of Pickering's website says that precise timing for design and construction have yet to be determined and remain subject to council approval as part of future capital budgets. So this could be a long ways away, but it's a very exciting project that would completely revitalize this part of the city and give Pickering a downtown area that people will love to meet and hang out in. This area is going to look very different 10 years from now. Con number 3 is the lack of entertainment options. Like a lot of the suburbs, younger people often describe Pickering as boring. There aren't a ton of options here entertainment-wise. Now, I have to mention the new Pickering Casino Resort. Even if you're not into gambling, this resort has restaurants and a concert venue for concerts and comedy shows, plus an amazing hotel. So this could make for a fun night out. If you're looking for entertainment for kids, Pickering does have a movie theater. There's also Pickering playing fields that's open in the summer with mini golf and batting cages. That's a lot of fun for adults too. There are tons of restaurants, so no shortage of places to try for dinner. You're also a short GO train ride to Union Station. So anything you want to do in downtown Toronto is not too far away. You're also a short drive or GO train ride to Oshawa, which has the Tribute Community Center to watch a concert or a hockey game. And you're only maybe a 10-minute drive to Whitby, which is right around Thixon and the 401, where you'll find trampoline parks, indoor mini golf, and even an iFly. So you really are quite close to get to anything that Pickering doesn't have on its own. Lastly, con number 4 is property taxes. If you've watched any of my other pros and cons videos, you'll notice a theme throughout the Durham region. Our property taxes are a lot higher than Toronto. Toronto's 2023 rate was about 0.66. Pickering's rate was around 1.16. So while you're likely to get more home for your money than you will in Toronto and avoid the second land transfer tax on your purchase, your property taxes will be higher compared to the rest of Durham. If you're deciding between different areas within the Durham region, Pickering actually falls on the lower end. Ajax, Oshawa, and Clarington all have higher tax rates than Pickering. Whitby and Uxbridge are a little bit lower. Overall, you're not getting away from high property taxes no matter where you buy in Durham. Now, let's move on to the pros. Pro number one, which I've already touched on, is the proximity to Toronto. It's the furthest west you can get in Durham, so you're right at the Toronto border. Without traffic, you can get right downtown in about 30 to 35 minutes taking the 401. Now, in reality, there won't be many times you'll be lucky enough to do that drive without any traffic. It can get quite bad, especially at the typical rush hour times. But this is really an issue throughout the GTA now. A great bonus from Pickering is the option to take the GO train. The train that goes from Pickering to Union will get you there in about 44 minutes. Pro number two is outdoor recreation and the waterfront. Another thing you'll notice if you've watched any of my other pros and cons videos is that one of my favorite things about Durham is the amazing outdoor recreation and waterfront areas, and Pickering is no exception to this. Frenchman's Bay is the waterfront area in Pickering, and it's pretty awesome, even with the power plant in the background. You have options to just have a beach day. You can go for a walk or bike ride along the waterfront trails. There's also a marina. You can take out a boat, do some fishing or paddleboarding. Petticoat Creek Conservation Park is down here, where you'll find lots of wildlife. There's a cafe and restaurants down by the water. And here along the southernmost part of Liverpool, you'll find some shops and restaurants as well. It's such a great place to spend a summer day. And this part of the city really gives me those East Coast vibes. Also, Altona Forest in the north end of Pickering is a gorgeous 102-acre forest with hiking trails to let you get outdoors and explore nature. Pro number three is employment opportunities. Pickering is a great location for commuters. If you work in Toronto, like many that live here do, you've got a relatively short commute, but Pickering also provides several employment opportunities of its own. I spoke earlier about the Pickering nuclear plant, which employs about 4,500 people. Pickering Casino Resort is another huge employer. Like I mentioned, at the resort, you'll find, of course, the casino, as well as restaurants and the concert venues. So lots of job opportunities there. Though not right in Pickering, another big employer close by is the Amazon warehouse in Ajax. So there are some good options for employment right within or close to the city. My final pro is the house prices. Now, this one is a little tougher since prices in Pickering have gone up so much in the last few years. So when I say that you'll get a cheaper home here, I'm comparing it to other parts of the GTA. So right in Toronto, but also compared to north of the city in Markham or west in Mississauga or Oakville. Durham is still more affordable than many other areas in the GTA. The average price of a home in Pickering in November 2023 was just over $944,000. A detached home on average was just over $1,242,000, and a semi-average was just over $824,000. Compared to other areas in Durham, the average price of a detached home was actually the highest in all of Durham for November. But for all home types combined, it was a little less than Ajax and Whitby. So you will find cheaper options in Durham. If being closest to Toronto is important to you, it may be worth the extra cost. And that finishes off my pros and cons of living in Pickering. So if you're thinking of a move to or within the Durham region, reach out anytime. All my contact information is included below. I'd love to help you with your move. You can check out some of my other videos about the pros and cons of other areas in the Durham region. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss my other videos. Thanks so much for watching.